Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be teaching you how to connect Firebase with your FlutterFlow app. We'll be modifying our old note-taking app that we had prepared for local storage, and we'll be converting it to an online storage using Firebase. This video is actually a part of my FlutterFlow course, and if you want to learn more you can check out the link in the description and start learning from scratch. So let's get into it. Notes app from local storage to Firebase. So firstly, we'll need to connect our Firebase with this application. So for that, we'll go to settings and select Firebase. And it requires the Firebase project ID. For the project ID, we'll have to create a new project over here. So let's create a new project over here and name it as Notes app. Now click on continue. Click on continue again. Select the default account and create project. Wait for a few seconds and it will now create the project. Okay, so as soon as the project is ready, click on continue. Now you'd have to click on Firestore database. And click on create database. Here you'd have to click on start in production mode and click next and click enable. Another thing that you'd have to do, which is not mentioned in the FlutterFlow documentation as well, is that go to project settings and click on default, set default resource location and click on done. Okay, so now click on user and permissions and add a new member and write Firebase at FlutterFlow.io and select the role as editor. Click on done. Okay, so now what you have to do is basically you'd have to copy the project ID and paste it inside over here. And now click on connect. Okay, as soon as you click on connect, you'd see this tick icon over here. And now click on auto generate config files over here and click generate files. Okay, so now Firebase setup has been completed. Another thing that you have to do is go to settings over here. First of all, you'd have to click on create new collection and we'd name the collection as notes. Click on create. Add some data over here. Our field will be notes data and the data type will be string as we had in the local state. Okay, so now what do you have to do? You have to go to settings and click over here. The write permissions will be given to everyone and the delete permissions will also be given to everyone. Now you have to click on deploy and click deploy now. Okay, so the nodes are deployed now. Now what do we need to do? You'd have to actually add the node over here to the Firebase instead of our local storage. So click on that and edit this section. We have to edit this function to create document in Firebase and set the collection over here, and we only have one field, and have to set some value, and the value is from the text field from the widget state, so it would work completely fine now. Okay, so now the new documents will be created at Firebase. Okay, so other than that, now we need to retrieve the data over here from the Firebase. For that, we'll have to click on the scaffold or the main screen of the app. Here you can see that there's an option. We'll add a new backend query over here. Click on add backend query and select query collection, and the query will be the collection of nodes, and it will be actually list of documents over here. And now click on confirm. After confirming, we now need to get the data onto this list view, and for that we'll click this and we'll name it as nodes, and the nodes will be actually from not from the local state but from the nodes document. And now mapping list items. Okay, so now after that, what do we need to do? We need to actually get the data over here. Now click on text and set the value from variable, and the variable will be actually from a nodes item, in which is nodes data over here. Okay. Oh, so what does the icon button do now? Icon button will delete the document, and we'll be adding some changes over here. On long press, we'll be selecting another action will be, which is delete, and here it is delete document, and we need to give a reference to this document, and for that we'll select that and click on reference. So it will be referencing to that specific data that we want to remove. And the list item, number list items, for that we'll be collecting this one, and we'll be selecting notes document, and we'll be selecting number of items over here, and we click on confirm. It will now get the data. Okay, so now we need to remove this node from the local state so that we do not receive any error over here. So another thing that we can add over here is that whenever a new node is created, we can add that at what time the nodes has been created, and for that we'll be adding a new property into a document and created time over here, a new property. Click on tick. We'll be selecting that as here you can see there must be a timestamp over here, and now click on tick. So as soon as it's created, we can now set the property over here, add another field, and the created time will be actually from a variable, and it is actually in the global properties. And select the current time over here. Now it will get the current time. So what do we need to do next? It need to add the time over here at the top of this, and for that we'll be selecting the specific container and for the row, and wrap it inside a new column, and on the upper part of the column we'll be adding a new text. As you can see over here, I have added a new text over here, and we'll selecting the text set from variable and the notes item in the created time. So the further change will be timestamp format, and how do we need to get the time over here? We can select any time from over here. For example, I'll be selecting this one right now and click on confirm. So now we need to run this application and take a look. How does it look now? Let's add some padding at the top, and now click on run your app in test mode.
Okay, so as the app is up and running now, let's just add a new note over here. And as you can see that I am adding a new note over here, and as soon as I click on add note, the note is actually added over here. And as also you can see the time over here, and you can delete a note by clicking on this button or holding this button, and the note is deleted. Also you can also see the numbering over here, and it's working completely fine from Firebase. And you can also see the data over here that we have created. This is the data, and as soon as I add new data over here, it will appear over here as well. As you can see, that is another data part over here. Okay, so thank you so much. uh we'll be meeting in the next video. Thank you.